Rockingham, North Carolina, home to the Rockingham Speedway. The 1 mile high banked oval hosted hundreds of famous races throughout its time. Tonight, home to the Northwest Truck Series, here live on LSR TV. We say hello and welcome, sim racing fans, to LSR TV. Here tonight in the booth, it's myself, Brandon Kreutz, and Charles Wooten, commentator and behind the cameras. Charles, historic racetrack. It's got a lot of character, and it's going to set up a challenge for these guys here tonight.
Yeah, there is a lot of character, and character could be switched over to bumps. There are a lot of bumps in this track. I was talking to a driver just not long ago in that 48 of Mark Walls who is really having to struggle with coming out on the track in a warm-up lap, hitting a bump coming out of the pits. So bumps, character, whatever you want to call it, it is going to make for an interesting race. Monday night we were here and we had 14 cautions. We're open sets tonight. I expect that to be a little lower.
Absolutely, and beautiful weather out here today in North Carolina. Partly cloudy, 75 degrees. Track temp sitting right around 91, and wind south 7 miles an hour. So a nice, calm, cool day for these drivers here to try to face the rock.
Yeah, and that wind has been changing quite a bit. It's been anywhere from 2 to 7, 9 miles an hour in there from the southeast to the south. So it's going to be changing on them here tonight. That will throw a curveball at them. Like you said, that track temp kind of fluctuating there, 90, 91 degrees as it just went up a degree. So you really have to test some things to see what's going to work. You know, what works early in this race may not necessarily work later in this race as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing to be concerned about here is tires. Of course, we have 180 laps around here today, and these bumps and the character in this racetrack, along with the high banks, and these guys are going to be driving it into the corners pretty hard. Your tires are going to wear, and well, we've seen it before. You don't want to blow that right front and end up out to the outside wall.
Yeah, and we have seen those tires blow before, and if they do, it is disastrous. It will send you into that outside wall in a hurry. That's obviously the last thing any driver wants. And again, we've talked about this multiple times that we've been in the booth together, is the track versus pit road. It's two different types of surface. That's going to pose a problem, especially in a track like Rockingham with the character it has. It's going to wear these tires out, and you have to be very careful not to slide through your pit stall.
Yeah, absolutely. So, these guys getting through their drivers' meeting, soon to be hitting the track for qualifying very shortly. Some fun facts about the Rockingham Speedway. Obviously, it's got a unique shape to it. The D shape is what it's technically listed as, but it's kind of an awkward D-shaped oval, 1 mile in length. It's got, about between 22 and 25 degrees of banking down through the corners, and a pretty whopping 8 degrees down the straightaways. And pretty solid 23 lap record set here by Rusty Wallace with the Penske Racing Group here in the year of 2000 with the Winston Cup Series. And of course, these guys in the truck's not going to be anywhere near those times, I don't believe, here tonight. And 23.208 set in practice so far. So only a tenth off of the standing track record for real life. And these guys actually flying around this place here tonight with the cool temperatures.
Yeah, and you talk about this being an iconic track. Just those names, Rusty Wallace. That name obviously about as iconic as this track itself. And to think that nobody has topped that time since he was here racing us. It's been several years since he's been behind the wheel of a NASCAR. So we'll be looking to see who's going to set the top time here tonight for qualifying. As I want to be as close to the front as I can. I think we're going to see a handful of cautions, and I do not want to be involved in one. You do have a fast repair in this series. But as we've seen, you don't want to use it too early. That's like your lifeline here in iRacing, and you don't always have it. So to have one is good, but you don't want to use it too early in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good tool to have and a good tool that you can utilize. Um, but you still want to keep your nose clean. You want to keep that truck clean. And I always say, if you want to be there at the end to win this race, you got to be able to make it to the end of the race. So you don't want to get caught up in any incidents that could result in catastrophe and take you out of the race.
Yeah, and of course, speaking of the end, we have about 2 minutes till the end of the drivers' meeting before they hop out onto the track for qualifying. So I think it's a good time to step aside and, of course, play our nation's song, nation's colors, whatever you want to call it here for the national anthem. So we're going to step aside. We will be right back after the playing of our national anthem.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you can just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees.yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here, the Northwest Truck Series live on LSR TV, your home for sim racing. And of course, awaiting qualifying to start. These guys just about done with their drivers' meeting, and I do believe the first set of trucks are starting to hit the track. So, times that we're probably going to see here tonight around 22 or 23-2, probably going to be best bet 23-1. It's a good time around here from what I'm seeing from practice, and these guys are hitting the racetrack, Charles.
And that's at number 13, Armor All. That is going to be Ryan Maines. He's somebody we always have to watch. I expect to see good times from him. Carl Burke out on the track. William Fletcher getting strapped in. Not quite ready to come out. Dan West Jr. on track, and John Ottenbacher getting strapped in as well. Again, a lot of fast drivers. You really never know who is going to be the one you have to watch, or maybe even the two or three you have to watch. However, Ryan, I believe that's Hormley, I believe how you pronounce it. I'm not sure if that G is silent or not, but a new driver here. So, new season here, we got new drivers coming in as well.
So, first time sitting up at the top of the board, Carl Burke in that 55, or the 53, the 55. Now, Dan West Jr. takes top time, 22.977. Again, Dan West Jr., fast driver in the league, takes top time so far. 3 drivers to turn times as of right now.
And we got a few more. Looks like the next one, Gary Nichols in that 8 machine, going to be the next one to put a time in, as he has completed his warm-up lap. Nobody else has so far, so we'll watch him here in minutes. Again, that is the 8 of Gary Nichols putting in his first time lap, and it's going to be a 23.444, and that will put him in the 4th position. Checking in William Fletcher in the 28 machine with a lap in a second fastest lap with a 22.923, only 0.077 off of the lead, as I have a feeling our top times are going to be really close here in qualifying.
Dan West Jr. hangs at the top of the board so far, 22.846. Of course, 6 drivers to turn a time so far. William Fletcher right behind him. Now William Fletcher to the top of the board, 22.808.
And that is a good time. And only 2 22-second times so far. Both of them, of course, at the top of the charts right now, as Roy Grande has put in his first lap here in, considering the warm-up lap, not his actual lap, in the number 51 at Taco Bell machine. We'll see if he has a little bit extra left in the tank in that Taco Bell machine to put it at the top as he comes to complete lap number 1, and it is going to be a 23.658. He's going to be in 8th place, but he's going to have to improve on that time just a little bit, as that's going to drop him quite a bit here in qualifying.
One thing you really have to do at this racetrack is have the confidence in your race vehicle to really push it. You can push it right around that line.
Yeah, you really do. You can push it right down there, and we've seen a lot of people defending that bottom line as well. It seems like where they want to go during this run, at least in the Cup cars, we saw it on Monday night. We'll see which line is the preferred line around this track later on, but someone you need to watch to go to the top, and right as I say that, he pulls it to a stop with Sean Breitzman. But he is going to pull it back into the pits and not complete a lap, so he'll go back out here in a minute as he's doing that right now. But James Vining in that 333 machine, a 23.238 as he's 6th fastest as Sean's back out on the track. We'll see what Sean can do here tonight. Again, he's had good runs this season so far. We'll see if that can continue. Kind of a roller coaster season for the 46 machine. He's had some really good runs, and he's also had some lows here early in the season. So the question is, how is it going to go here tonight? As you mentioned, an iconic track, a classic track that's not on the circuit anymore, and it definitely poses some problems for some drivers. And there's a problem right there from the 46 machine. As he's going to get into the wall. We switch over to the new driver here tonight. Driver of that number 44 machine as he is out on track. That is Ryan, I believe it's Hormley is how you pronounce it. We'll get clarification from that when we can. But already seeing some good times here, Brandon.
Yeah, good times for sure. And some really, really fast times up at the top of the board right now. And not too far off from each other all through the top 5.
Yeah, they are very close together. Again, .038 separating William Fletcher and Dan West Jr. Chad Malick's going to jump to 6th place. And just like that, as I mentioned, that number 44 machine, he is going to jump to a 4th position. Again, Ryan Hormley there, I believe, is the correct pronunciation. We will clarify that when we get the chance. Is that we have Jeff Stabnow out on the track, another favorite here that could possibly put it to the top of the charts. But it's going to be tough to beat that 22.808. That is a very fast time. And the few technical difficulties here having to deal with. So no worries, we'll get those sorted out. But we'll definitely get those all sorted out. As Jeff Stabnow going to go for a hard ride into the outside wall. And into the inside wall is Corey Walters getting ready. Casey Garber out on the track. All right, Casey Garber coming out on to the track in the number 94 machine. Awesome looking Oreos Ritz number 94. Kind of making me want some Oreos here tonight as he is out on a track. John Ottenbacher currently 13th fastest with a 39. That was his last time. 23.895. We'll see what kind of times he can put in if he has another lap. Doesn't look like he does, but Casey Garber has 2 laps. He's 33.888 for lap number 1, and it's not gonna matter. Time is up here for qualifying. We will get sorted. Of course, we're getting some of those technical issues sorted out. So Brandon Kreutz will be back here momentarily. So we have a lot of racing action coming your way. 180 laps is what is on a schedule for tonight's race. So we will dive right into it here for your starting grid as the drivers are starting to take to the track now for your race tonight. We'll jump there on row 1 here tonight. Is going to be the 28 of William Fletcher, and those outside is going to be the 55 of Dan West Jr. Row 2 is going to be the 53 of Carl Burke and the 44 of Ryan Hormley. Row 3 is going to be the 48 of Mark Walls and the 13 of Ryan Maines. Row 4 is going to be the 6 of Chad Malick and the 33 of James Vining. Row 5 is going to be the 7 of Brett Johnson and the 8 of Gary Nichols, qualifying in order here in 7 and 8. Row 6 is going to be the 46 of Sean Breitzman and the 51 of Roy Grande. Row 7 is going to be the 89 of John Ottenbacher and the 94 of Casey Garber, not taking a time here in qualifying, the first one to not do so. Row 8 is going to be the 24, Jeff Stabno. Also tried taking time, ended up wrecking in qualifying, and that time did not count. So he'll start in the 24 machine on row 8. Alongside him is going to be the 58 of Stephen Paulson. Row 9 is going to be the 5 of Dylan Huffines and the 41 of Stephen O'Hare. Row 10 is going to be the 71 of Eric Cheney and the 9 of Corey Walters. Row 11 is going to be the 26 of Ray Fournier and the 11 of Frank Harris. Row 12 going to be the 91 of Scott Hutchinson and the 77 of Tom Green. Row 13, rounding out your field here tonight, is going to be the 07 of Dana Rogers. And that'll do it for your Walls Beard Co. Beard Bomb starting grid here for tonight's race. And of course, we have a few scratchers that aren't going to make the call. And that is going to be Chad Malik in the 6, Stephen O'Hare in the 41, the 71 of Eric Cheney, and the 5 of Dylan Huffines not going to be on call. They have missed the grid. So if they come in late, they'll be starting in the pits. But as of right now, they are not going to be on call here for tonight's race, as the pace car getting ready to go to its rightful place on the pit road. And we're going to strap those belts in and get this party started by lighting those candles here for the first time tonight. And we are racing again. Brandon Cruz will be back momentarily, having some PC issues. He will be back here when he can, as the green flag is out. Sidebar is down, and we are racing. Dan West Jr. out front leading this race right now. But here comes William Fletcher to the inside. He's going to try to give him a battle for the lead, and it's going to be a good one here on lap number 1. And quickly, Fletcher says, see you later, throws the keys on the counter and checks out from the hotel, as he will take the lead from Dan West Jr. The rookie here, Ryan, normally going to be in that 3rd position, but Ryan Maines is coming fast for that 3rd position at the moment. Let's go a little further back here. Actually a little further back, there we go. Carl Burke's going to get passed by Mark Walls for the 5th position. We'll see if Carl Burke can try to gain that spot back here in the next couple of laps. And they're already starting to kind of get single file out here. Let's take a look here from the aerial cam. You can see just how spread out they are at the moment. Not a whole lot going on early on in this race. We go a little further back, we might see some action back here, as we have that 51 of Roy Grande and the 9 of Corey Walters, putting a nice little battle for you back here in 14th, 15th position. And here comes the 11, and something gone wrong there, it looks like, with the 51 of Roy Grande, as he is taking it to the bottom side of the track, and he is getting passed very quickly, and it looks like he's going to bring it to the apron and possibly down pit road. Not sure what is going on. Again, that is the 51 of Roy Grande. Something amiss with that truck early in this race. We'll see what happens. Just maybe have to take a word in with him here. But already coming down pit road, possibly issues, possibly a penalty of some kind. We will find out as he's going to take it down at pit road. We go back to the front, as at the moment we got a little battle going on here. That is the 13 of Ryan Maines, hard, being charged by Ryan Hormley. So 2 Ryans and a Mark Walls. Right there's Mark Walls going to take it to the inside of that 44, and he's going to get by it quickly. The 44 really not putting much of a fight up there, as he's going to let him by fairly quickly, and Carl Burke may have something to say about it as well. He's going to try to get into the mix. But Ryan Maines, the next victim of Mark Walls, if he's able to get up there and get by him. We'll see as we check way back in the field here. We'll check in with Jeff Stabnow, who's trying to make a pass here on Gary Nichols at the moment. And Roy Grande has packed it into the trailer. His night is done. So looks like he is just going to start, run a couple of laps, and then he is going to park it here. He's on pit road for 6 seconds, so did not complete very many laps at all. Again, not sure what might be going on there, but he definitely is not going to be racing here tonight. And just got word that Brandon Kreutz on a fire call, so unfortunately will not be with us for a little bit. We'll see if he is able to return here later on tonight. But William Fletcher still out front, leading this race. He has Dan West Jr. Reeling him in quickly. We'll see if he's able to catch him or not, as he's right there on his back bumper. The battle for the lead starting to pick up. We'll just have to keep an eye on it, as we have Ryan Maines a little further back here, still in pursuit by Mark Walls. He's running him down. We do not want to get away from this lead too much, as the battle for the lead is huge right now. So it's just going to be a matter of time to see if that lead changes back. As a 55 of Dan West Jr., I thought he got a decent start, but maybe not to his liking, as he's quickly come back to the front, and a new leader once again, Dan West Jr. back to the front. So we'll get rid of the sidebar off your screen here for the moment. Pull your top bar up, and you can see that is his first lap led, as he's going to try to make it lap number 2, but quickly he got overcome there on the lead here. We're on lap number 12 of 180. We'll see if he's able to lead some more here tonight, as we'll get rid of that top bar and bring back your sidebar on the screen. All right, so again, hopefully we'll get to see Brandon Kreutz back here in the booth with us, having a fire call there. He's having to listen in on that, see if he needs to go. Of course, IRL comes first anytime. We'll see if he's able to make it back here. William Fletcher, once he got to the lead taken away from him, has quickly fallen off here in this race. We'll see these tires not performing maybe the way he likes them. He may have to make some tweaks and changes to that truck here later in this race, as just not working the way he wanted it to. Mark Walls still in pursuit. He did get by the 44 and the 13 a little while ago, but hasn't really been able to get to second place. Kind of hit a brick wall and stalled out there just a little bit, as he's hanging in there best he can in the third position. Fourth position still belongs to the rookie here tonight, Ryan Hormley, in that 44 machine, proving you can be a rookie and still be up front. We'll see if he is able to do it. Ryan Maines in the fifth position. Sean Brightsman, who we saw spinning out in qualifying, was able to go back out and get a good run. As right there, you see, started 11th. He's up to 6th. He has worked his way through this field, and he is on the march to the front. We'll see if he is able to go all the way to the front and possibly put this thing in victory lane. And it looks like Stephen Paulson in that 58 machine having a little bit of a connection issue here. We'll see if that sorts itself out. Meanwhile, I want to point out that Chad Malik, he is on a track in the 6th machine. We've already mentioned that the lap cars were coming in. It's not because they were catching lap cars, but because he came out a little bit. So he was a scratch, but he is in this race now. He's 3 laps down at the moment. So he's going to try to get back on the lead lap. But as of so far, 19 laps in, we have not had a caution. Unlike the Monday Night Series, 14 cautions in that race, and some penalties that were issued after the race. Let's hope we don't have those here tonight, as so far we are caution-free here at Rockingham, an iconic track, a very tough track for a lot of these drivers, as we'll just have to wait and see. But Mark Walls gets to second place here, as we'll see William Fletcher is falling backwards big time right now. The fall off is drastic in that 28 machine, as his last lap times of 24. The other drivers still running 23s, and there you see right there, something is not right. Something is amiss with that 28 machine as the 13 gets by, the 46 gets by. Here comes Jeff Stab now. He's going to get by as well. So again, something has gone amiss in that 28 machine of William Fletcher. I'm not sure what it is. He started in the top position. He's currently in 7th. So he is definitely dropping rapidly through this field. Not sure if those tires have just worn off that quick or if something is amiss in that number 28 machine. We'll have to check in with him here in just a little bit if we get a chance, if there's a caution, but something not right here with the 28 machine. As here comes the 7 of Brett Johnson. He is also on the hunt, trying to get up there and get by him. Again, everyone's moving their way to the front. Right now, Dan West Jr. has a 3.8 second lead over Mark Walls in second place. Now it's 3.7. Mark Walls actually making time. He is cutting away at that lead of Dan West Jr. How quickly he's going to do it, that's another question. He's not quite cutting away at it rapidly, but he is definitely cutting away at it. So we'll keep an eye on that little battle there that's going on. Meanwhile, another one that has kind of drifted backwards here in this race right now, that is Carl Burke. Started 3rd. He's in 12th right now. So came out very, very quickly and has now decided to take it down to the apron. Not sure if this is a scheduled stop here as we're on lap number 25. So he's going to bring it down pit road. We'll see, as it looks like Casey Garber has been down pit road once already for 2.8 seconds. So it looks like a stop and go, possibly penalty for Casey Garber. And that 53 machine are going to go ahead and bring it down. Again, not sure if this is a scheduled stop or possibly some sort of penalty, but he is going to bring it to a stop in his stall, and tires are going on, so it looks like it is going to be a stop here for the 53 of Carl Burke as we go hunting for the battles on the track right now, and you can see they're pretty much spread out. Brett Johnson did get by William Fletcher. Again, I'm not sure if it's just tires or something was amiss with that 28 machine, but he fell quite quickly here as Jeff Stab now going to get by that Next Gen Racing. I'll show you, he is the Next Gen Racing as they've got 2 different teams now. So the 46 part of one team, the 24 part of another team, and now, of course, Jeff being part of Next Gen Racing, and Sean being part of Wicked Chassis Racing now. So former teammates battling here, as right now Jeff Stab now gets the better run, and we're seeing some serious fall off from these drivers. Their fastest laps, 22.9s, almost 23s, and now we're seeing 24 1s, 24 2s, even 24 4s here in the race. So fall off has become real here at Rockingham. This track is eating away at these tires. It's just a matter of time before we potentially see a caution. And will cautions breed cautions here tonight? That is the question. As we go a little further back in this field to Frank Harris in the 11. He's trying to run down Corey Walters, but not quite there, as he just went a lap down from Dan West Jr. Dan is already starting to put drivers a lap down, just 31 laps into this 180 lap race. A caution going to be needing to come out to kind of sort this one out for some of these drivers, as the next driver would be Corey Walters. We'll take a look here and see when Corey Walters crosses the line, how far the leader is behind him right there. And there's your leader. He's crossing the line. So there is not a lot of gaps separating your leader and Corey Walters right now, who, keep in mind, is your 13th place driver, about to go a lap down if he can catch him. And at the rate he's going, I'm saying he's going to 5.449 seconds lead. It is crazy how quickly Dan West Jr. is able to pull away. And we got a car slow on track, and that's going to be the 24 Jeff Stab now here on lap number 32 So if this is for a pit stop, different, and I don't think it is. I think something happened to that 24 machine. As he's got heavy damage that did not bring out a caution. Let's quickly take a look here and see if we can see what happened to that 24. Even though we are not going to have a caution, we're going to go back and take a look at this. As Ray Fournier coming down pit road, we'll check in with that here in a moment as well. Oh, and right there, hard, and I'm sure he got into the inside wall, or the outside wall as well, but a hard lick for that 24 machine, as not sure exactly what happened before that, as again, it didn't bring out a caution, but there you see it, the 24 going to go ahead and bring it down pit road, so a lot of damage to him, as unfortunate, not what he wanted, but Ray Fournier sitting on pit road as well, for 20 plus seconds, so that is not a normal stop for him. Mark Walls, I said, had chipped away at that lead. He's still trying to chip away at it, but not doing a whole lot there, as Dan West Jr. is just quick here tonight. But that 48 of Mark Walls is a fierce competitor. He is not going to give up anytime soon, as he is battling his way to the front as quickly as he can. Well, the question is early in this race, but who is going to be your race winner as we bring the sidebar back up on your screen? On the left, you can see exactly who's here. 25 drivers made the trip here to Rockingham. And Chad Malik came out, completed some laps. He is done here tonight. He has parked it, as well as Roy Grande and Dylan Huffines, Stephen O'Hare, and Eric Cheney not making the call. They did not start the race here tonight. Everyone else is in the race, and we are already down to just 10 drivers on the lead lap. And folks, this is not due to a caution vest. A lot of cautions, anything like that, Rex, that is just because that driver right there, the 55 of Dan West Jr., has just been picking them off one at a time, as he is almost like the Rockingham sniper. He's been picking these drivers off as quickly as he can, as he's the next victim is right in front of him. The 58 of Stephen Paulson, and he's going to try to put him a lap down as well to put single digits on the lead lap here tonight. And if he can catch him, it is not going to be long before he has John Ottenbacher in his sights, as well as Gary Nichols and James Vining, who are all right here together. And if I'm Stephen Paulson, I'm going to try to get by this 89 of John Ottenbacher as quickly as I can, and get a little bit of a buffer between me and that race leader. And he's going to do that. He's going to take it to the bottom. John Ottenbacher going to take it to the high side. Not going to put up too much of a struggle there, as he gets by him. While we have a little bit of a break here, a little in the action, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight to LSR TV, your home for sim racing. We're glad you're tuning in here on a Thursday night. We have a lot of big things in the works, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. And so again, a lot of big things coming here. Some new leagues coming on for 2020. We'll be announcing those here in the very near future. As there you see, the 58 does officially make the pass. And now you got the 28 mixed in there. Keep in mind, the 28 of William Fletcher is currently 2 laps down, but he has much fresher tires. As you can see right there, what the fresh tires are going to do for him. We'll see. Can the 28 try to get one of these laps back in? New tires going to be a huge, and I mean a huge thing here tonight. As you've seen right there, the 28 fell off very quickly, but he has found his way back in the forward motion. Still 2 laps down, but he is moving forward. 23.6 was his last lap to a 24.7 for Dan West Jr. Well, Dan West Jr. has yet to come down pit road. We are 45 laps into this race. Caution 3 so far. Again, a huge green flag run for the Northwest Racing Truck Series presented by Walls Beard Co. We'll just have to see how long the green flag run can go. We've already seen a few drivers come down. Carl Burke has been down. Jeff Stabnow, who we mentioned, we saw him get involved in a wreck. William Fletcher's, Scott Hutchinson, Casey Garber, Ray Fournier, who is currently still on pit road. Unfortunately, not having the night he wanted. But here comes Brett Johnson trying to make a pass on Ryan Maines. He's going to stick it to the inside, and that pass will stick as he is going to rock it by. And now we have the 333 of James Vining taking that testmy.net. I believe that is a Toyota he's driving. It is a Toyota Tundra down pit road as he will go for his stop. And again, around lap 46 is what he's coming down. But we still have a lot of drivers out on track, including your leader. The top 13 drivers have not come down pit road yet. So these tires are going to be really old for these drivers. And as of right now, we only have 7 drivers on the lead lap, and that's about to be 6. As Stephen Paulson, the next one to potentially go a lap down. Some of these guys have gone a lap down because of pitting. However, some of them are just getting lapped by your leader, as you see right now. And this is a product of having a really fast truck by Dan West Jr. in an open set and a very short track. This track, roughly a mile, 0.97 miles. So it's not quite a mile, but it's right there at it. And if you've got a fast truck and some of these guys are a little bit slower, you can easily get by them. So the 58 of Stephen Paulson really holding them off here at the moment as Gary Nichols is going to bring that number 8 machine down pit road. But your race leader is just picking them off right now, one by one. Well, the question is, does anybody have anything for Dan West Jr.? Right now, your second place car, who we'll talk about here for a minute, who's under fire from that 24 machine, even though the 24 is not on the same lap. Keep in mind, Jeff Stabnow has been down pit road because of the damage. He's 2 laps down, but he's got much fresher tires. But Mark Wall's 10.9 seconds behind your race leader. He is nearly 11 seconds behind, and right now he's going to cut that to 10.4. Oh, he has got a little bit of that time back, but not enough to quite get there. Now it's 10.3, and we're going to see another driver come down. The 46 of Sean Brightsman going to be his number 46 Toyota Tundra down for tires and for field goods, or for field goods and fuel. We'll see who else is going to come down. Pit stops coming around lap 50 or so. Is what we're seeing now. Ryan Maines going to take that Armor All number 13 down the pit road. So this looks like the beginning of pit stops for a lot of people, as most of them were already down pit road. Over half the field coming down a little bit earlier, but the rest of this field's coming down anywhere from 50 to possibly 55 is what we're seeing here. So fuel window kind of in the air at the moment. Not quite sure what the fuel window is going to be, but we do have Corey Walters bringing that number 9 machine down pit road as well. So his pit stop number 1 will start here. And Dan West Jr. still showing no signs of coming down. He is running 24.3 seconds, so a little bit slower than the new tires, but still faster than Mark Wall's. 25 flat for him, 25.7 for Ryan Hormley there in the number 44. So he is significantly faster still than everybody else that are on the same tire cycle as him. However, you get down to someone like Jeff Stabnow, who's the first one at the moment that has been to pit road, 23.5s for Jeff Stabnow. So you compare those. In that case, Stabnow's quite a bit faster. We'll see how it all plays out. As of right now, due to pit stops and your race leader, there are only 3 trucks on the lead lap, and that is Dan West Jr., Mark Walls, and Ryan Hormley at the moment, and we'll see just how quickly Ryan Hormley's going to get lapped here. As there he is crossing the line. There's your leader. He's coming to the line as well. So even third place is in jeopardy of potentially going down. He's got about a 4-second gap between himself and the leader of Dan West Jr. So Ryan Hormley here in jeopardy of going a lap down as well. And he's going to go ahead and go a lap down as he's going to bring it down pit road. The question is, when is your leader going to bring it down? He has been out now 59 laps, and a lot of cars have. You look here at the moment, your top, top about 7 drivers roughly have not come down pit road so far. So it'd be interesting to see when these guys do come down to complete their stops. Obviously, the 44 coming down right now. Mark Walls still out there. And look at these new tires, Lou. That is the 333 of James Vining, as he's in 11th position. He's not even battling Mark Walls, and Mark Walls going to go ahead and bring it down as he gets a little squirmy coming down pit road, but he checks it up in time. And we go down pit road for that 48 machine. Again, your leader has still not come down, and based on speed, he is not. As of right now, your leader, Dan West Jr., has not come down pit road, and he has lapped this entire field, whether it be because of pit stops or just passing them. As of, again, right now, everybody is a lap down at the hands of the 55, and he gets a little loose there coming on pit road, but he is finally going to bring it down here on lap 60 with 120 laps to go. And it looks like Carl Burke is calling it quits here as of about just a few laps ago. Casey Garber calling it quits as well. They are going to be DNFs here for tonight's race. As your leader comes down pit road, he needs a good stop here tonight, and he's going to slide into a stall, and a good stop here for that 55 machine. This is good news, as this is going to allow some people to get their laps back. John Ottenbacher being scored in the 2nd position right now, and now that'll make first here for John Ottenbacher, as he is on the lead lap, and that's going to let a couple of other drivers here. Now we're getting into good territory. 9 drivers so far back on the lead lap, all the way down to Ryan Maines. Because Dan West Jr. came down pit road, that allowed some of these guys to get back, and he's going to maintain 2nd position out of all this once it's all said and done. But we still now have currently now just 4 drivers on the lead lap. Mark Wall's the last one on that lead lap right now. So we'll see how it all plays out here tonight for this race. But again, so far, caution free here, 63 laps into this race, and it pretty much has been dominated by Dan West Jr. and John Ottenbacher are going to bring that LSR TV number 89 machine down pit road. He will relinquish the lead, and he is the last one to come down, and he has to back up over slides his pit stall. We were wondering if that would happen, and it did indeed happen here for him, unfortunately, as he will drop a few spots. Is right now Jeff Stabnow's in a 2nd position, but still has a 9.666 second gap to the race leader. As once the complete round of pit stops were completed here, Dan West Jr. has cycled back to the front, and he is already on the hunt again. Ryan Maines, 13 laps on this stint. He's got his hands full with Gary Nichols and Sean Brightsman. Those are battled. These guys are battling for position right now. Right now, that is for 5th position. Meanwhile, not only are they battling for position, they're battling to stay on the lead lap. We got really, really good battles going on right now here at the front and the rear. It's the front of the field and the rear of the field nearly at the same time. While they're not in last place, they're actually around 5th position, but they're at the tail end right now, so they're trying to stay on the lead lap, so the tail end of the lead lap, even though they're not at the end of the field or end of the line here. And it's a really weird situation, as that 13 of Ryan Maines struggling to hang on to the lead lap right now, and he's going to try. Ryan Mays doing everything he can. And Sean Brightsman saying, hang on there, keep him behind you, keep him behind me. It's not going to work. Ryan Mays gets put one more lap down at the hands of Dan West Jr., leaving us 5 drivers on the lead lap. And that's going to come to Sean Brightsman now. Brightsman hanging on there. He's going to try to hang on to the lead lap, but it's not going to work. You're looking at 17 laps on the tires for Sean Brightsman. 23.739 the last lap to a 23.4 with 7 laps for Dan West Jr. So his tire's much fresher, and it's not even going to be much of a battle there. He gets by him very quickly. As of right now, that puts just 4 drivers on the lead lap. Laps are winding away, and a lot of these guys wishing for the caution here tonight. Well, caution would be needed if they want to hang on to that lead lap. They're going to need it. The question is it going to happen here tonight? We are 70 laps in right now with 110 laps to go with Dan West Jr. Now getting by the 77 of Tom Green. He's going to put him a 3rd lap down. And next would be James Vining right there. James Vining currently on the lead lap. He's in 4th position, and he is in jeopardy of going a lap down. Still a solid 4th place finish if he was to finish right now for James Vining. But again, he needs a caution to kind of regroup this field and stop himself from going a lap down. But so far, that has not been how it's been played out. As you see how quickly that 55 is catching him. I didn't think we would see this many cars go a lap down this quick, but it is happening. It's unfortunate that it is, but it's happening very quickly. Well, the question of the hour is, will Dan West Jr. be your race winner? Right now it looks like it, but again, anything can happen as he's hanging in there. James Vining still trying to get something going. We'll have to just wait and see. Jeff Stabnow had to use his fast repair a little bit earlier than he wanted to. He's got to keep it out of trouble here in the number 24 Walls Beard Co. machine now. He's doing a good job hanging into 3rd place. He did get by Ryan Hormley there, but Hormley not on the lead lap. He is currently 2 laps down, running on about 14 lap tires. And it looks like he's probably going to get back by Jeff Stabnow. 40 laps on his tires. Those tires have got to be feeling pretty worn right now. Wishing he probably had some fresh feel-goods on that machine, but not the case right now. As James Vining just gets put a lap down. And here comes Sean Brightsman. This is a battle for the 4th position between 2 lap down cars. Sean Brightsman going to try to make a move. You're looking at 24 laps for Sean Brightsman, 29 for James Vining, so roughly in the same area as far as tire wear. But again, we'll see how they play out. Is the 333 of James Vining is going to tuck it to the bottom, and he's going to let that 46 go. He's not going to battle with him. And now Ryan Maines coming into the picture. So we really haven't seen a whole lot of people, being too aggressive here tonight. Especially 77 laps into this race. I figured they would fight a little bit harder for it, but that has not been the case here thus far in this race. Very interesting as Ryan Maines trying to run him down. We'll see currently the gap between 3rd place and first, 20.499. As you can see right there, that seems like a lot. There's your leader. There's only about a 4-second gap, 3 to 4 second gap between 1st and 3rd now. Jeff Stabnow is in 3rd place, had to use his fast repair, having a good run, but still could possibly go a lap down. Again, a caution is needed for these guys to get back on the lead lap, or we're going to have a lot of battles, but they're not going to be for the lead lap. Obviously, these guys wishing they had one right about now from that Monday night race. Could they borrow some of them? 14 cautions Monday night. Polar opposite here tonight. Caution free, 80 laps in. This is probably the longest green flag run we have seen all season here in the Truck Series. And the one time it is probably the one time these guys don't want to see it. As we are just clicking away laps very quickly here, just over an hour that we've been racing. Technically, that was the pre-show as well. Oh, an extra long pre-show here tonight, 81 laps in at the moment, and it has pretty much been all about Dan West Jr. as he is trying to catch Stabnow, and there's Stabnow at the moment. He's about to go a lap down, and look how quickly that 55 of Dan West Jr. catches, as he has a huge run. Again, that's 47 laps for Stabnow, 20 for Dan West Jr. It's not going to be any battle there. And here comes the 89 of Ottenbacher. He's going to try to squeeze in there as well, even though that's not a battle for an actual position at the moment. So he does squeeze by two cars on the lead lap. Mark Wall's hoping he's not the next victim right now. And so he is a 15-second gap to the race leader. If he manages to put this entire field down due to just passing them, that is impressive. You know, it's not every day you can see a driver put everybody in the field a lap down, and some of them multiple laps. He has definitely got a rocket ship here tonight, and why not? We haven't done it all race. Let's go on board with Dan West Jr. as he comes to the line just to see what that truck is handling like. All right, we are back. Bring the sidebar back up onto your screen. As just a quick recap here, as we have 93 laps left to go. Currently out of the race here tonight is going to be Casey Garber, Carl Burke, Chad Malik, Roy Grande, Dylan Huffines, Stephen O'Hare, and Eric Cheney, of course. Huffines, O'Hare, and Cheney receiving DNSs. Grande, Malik, Burke, and Garber DNS as they did not finish. And Ray Fournier has been on pit road for roughly 23 minutes now. He is looking to return, even though he's 57 laps down. He's going to try to make a return in this race a little bit later if he can. We'll be looking to see if that does happen. Again, here at the moment, everybody is a lap down except for the car you're watching right now, the truck, sorry, the 55 of Dan West Jr. and Mark Walls, who is in second place. He's got a 19.5 second gap to the leader. So if things continue the way they're going, he could potentially be a lap down as well, and this entire field would be a lap down. Right now, Dan West Jr. and Mark Walls both on roughly 30 lap tires. Some of this field on 30 laps as well. Jeff Stabnow, 56 laps on this stint for him. 30 for Brett Johnson, 44 for James Vining. So kind of a mixed bag of the tires here when it comes to when they last came down. So it'll be interesting to see when they come back down once again. But everybody extremely spread out here at the moment. Ryan Maines is sitting there, has his hands full with that 28 of William Fletcher. Of course, Maines 1 lap down, Fletcher 4 laps down. This is not a battle for position as Fletcher is going to try to take that spot away. Again, this is a battle for real estate on the track, not for position in the scoring tower. As there you see the 28 is easily going to get by. You're talking 40 lap tires versus 28 lap tires. No surprise there, as tires have been very crucial in tonight's race. Going through this field, Stephen Paulson going to get around the 11. Again, just a real estate battle, not a position battle. At the moment, 94 laps complete, 86 laps to go as this race is in the closing half, and we have been caution free so far here tonight. A huge run. Could we possibly go caution free here tonight? It has been a very mundane race. Not a lot going on other than the fact that your race leader has pretty much, we use the phrase, put the keys on the counter and checked out. Well, he's done more than check out here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, he's pretty much bought the hotel, as he now has a 21, almost 22-second lead over second place. And on the scoring tower here, at the moment, you see on your left-hand side, you see that negative 22, and then it'll fluctuate to 2.9. That is indicating to all the fans out there watching, he is 22 seconds behind, and there's he's now 1.1 second in front. It is fluctuating and rotating there for your convenience to let you know, and that's what that means. He's 22.5 seconds behind the leader, but now he's also 1.2 seconds in front of the leader. So he is within jeopardy. He is less than 2 seconds away from going a lap down. Now it's 1.3. So obviously these lap cars kind of posing an issue here for the 55, as he's got that 58 machine of Stephen Paulson in front of him. Paulson may be slowing him down just a little bit, as he can see the leader. Mark Walls is just right there. So he is within striking distance. He's just got to get around these lap cars first if he wants to put this entire field a lap down, and he's going to do it right there. You can see just how quickly he gets by the 91 of Hutchinson and the 58 of Paulson. So we'll just keep an eye on that and see how quickly he does catch Mark Walls, as that gap went from 21 seconds to 24 seconds rather quickly. Mark Walls looks to be the next one he would pass as he comes to the line. And he still has James Vining in front of him. So Vining kind of the little padding, you might say, for Mark Walls, as he's got to get by him first. And no, the 333 is not. He's going to step aside and not get in the way of the leader. So now you have the battle going to go on. Can the 55 put this entire field a lap down here tonight? We'll see. That battle's starting to brew. We're going to keep an eye on that as well. Jeff Stabnow, after using that fast repair, still having a good run. Brett Johnson sitting in the fourth position. Ryan Maines in fifth. Again, we're talking about fifth position. He's 48 laps. He's fixing to bring it down pit road. And we'll see as he is going to go ahead and make his second stop of the night. There is Mark Walls. That battle, we're trying to go a little bit through this field here, but the battle for second position to go a lap down is underway now. As you see the gap there, 0.900, less than a tenth. And there you have it, Mark Walls officially going a lap down. The 55, due to pit stops and no cautions, just the old-fashioned way, has put this entire field a lap down right now. Again, that is a feat you do not see very often for a driver to put an entire field a lap down. Mark Walls going to see if he can try to get back on it, but again, the tires these guys are running on roughly the same. Difference of 1 lap, 25.1 as an update here. We'll see a 24.662 for Mark Walls, a 24.326 for Dan West Jr. on 1 lap different tires. The tire wear is bad, but it's not that bad. So Dan West Jr. about 3/10 faster here than Mark Walls. He has got a bad, fast machine here at the moment, and he's going to just continue to check out with a 1 lap lead over most of this field. All the way back is right now there are only 4 drivers with 1 lap or less. Stephen Paulson now 2 laps down as a 3:33 machine of James Viney going to kind of pull over again and let these guys by. Well, unfortunate for the rest of the field as that 55 machine has been dominant here tonight, and there's just not a whole lot of battles going on. Tom Green, Ryan Maines, not close together on the track right now. As we go a little further back, again, there's so many people that are on different laps that there's battles going on, but they're not for position. They're only for real estate on the track, as Gary Nichols has a little bit of damage on the backside of his car. So, again, not sure how he acquired that, but he looks like got hit in the backside of that truck just a little bit, caving the right side in. While we watch your race leader continue to pull away from this field here tonight, we go through this field again. Oh, and the 77 licks the outside wall, and that's going to slow him up just a little bit, and everyone's going to try to get by him, and there's your race leader. He was right in the mix of this as well. He's going to take it to the bottom. That's Tom Green in that 77, and that was a hard lick to the outside wall, as it's going to cave in the right side of the truck just a little bit. We'll see a little bit of pancake, but not much, and then he's going to pancake it just a little bit more, and they're going to get by him here. So 3 more. It's going to be the 48, the 58, and the 333, and he's going to bring it down pit road, as we'll see if this is a pit stop here. It is 45 laps in. This very well could be a scheduled stop for Tom Green in the 77 machine. But at the moment, again, it has been all about one driver, and that is not even a stretch of the imagination. It has been his race to lose since the about 10 lap mark when he got the lead back. As we look here to your race leader and pull up your top bar here, 100 laps led. So is at the 12th lap. He has not led every lap of this race, as William Fletcher did get by him right off the bat, and then has since faded. He's 6 laps down at the moment. So started strong. Go back to William Fletcher here. You see William Fletcher pull up his race information. Started first, and he's been as low as 18th. He's currently 16th. So whatever happened to that 28 machine has just not been able to get back to where he started here on the pole. My guess is he taped up that truck very well, and you can't do that. You can tape it up during qualifying. You cannot tape it up during the race. If you do, unfortunately, the engine will blow. So you cannot keep that truck taped up during the race like you can in qualifying. We'll keep an eye. We've been keeping an eye on all the battles here. Again, pretty much strung out here tonight. This is a good little battle going on here. And these guys are all on different laps right now. So really, none of them are battling for position, just for real estate on the track. As Corey Walters is currently in, taking a look, he is in the 7th position right now. In that number 9 machine. The 77 is going to get by him on much fresher tires. Stephen Paulson is in 4th position. So these guys are on 2 different laps. 2 laps down for the 58, 3 for Corey Walters. Again, not battling for position, just for real estate on the track. So we'll keep an eye on those and see how it all plays out. Again, these guys praying for the caution, and the caution does come out here tonight. Well, we'll see what transpires here as we'll take a look here at the instant replay. Was Frank Harris involved? Not sure. We're about to find out. He was slow on the track. And I do believe it was the 11 of Frank Harris involved in the caution. That is what we're going to find out here for sure. And no, the 46 involved in the 13. And there's where he gets involved right there, as it was going to be Ryan Maines. So we'll go back and take another look at this. We'll see what happened to the 13 of Ryan Maines. The 46 of Sean Brightsman involved in this as well. And Sean Brightsman, I do believe, got into the outside wall. As again, a prediction there. We'll see as we're about to find out. We'll hide that sidebar for a moment. And just about right in here's where it's all going to transpire. And he does. He smacks the wall, collects the 13. And then from pretty much after that, right there is the innocent bystander, the 11. Frank Harris just getting involved in it. I can pretty much assure you everybody's going to be coming down a pit road here as we are under caution once again. We're going to step away off the mic here for just a moment, and we will be right back here after the caution as those lights go out. All right, we are back, and the green flag comes out here. 122 laps, about 119 on a green flag run. A huge green flag run for the Rockingham. Again, comparing it to Monday night's race, We had 14 cautions. They have redeemed themselves here tonight. 3 drivers on the lead lap. I stand corrected. 2 drivers on the lead lap here at the moment, as Dan West Jr. and Mark Walls, the front runners here on the lead lap. Brett Johnson, though, has got company coming from the 58. This is what these guys needed. And now here comes Corey Walters. They are all jumbled up right now. It's like a mixed bag of chocolates out on this track right now. As Stephen Paulson right now in 4th position. Corey Walters right behind him. However, Corey Walters is 3 laps down. So again, they're all jumbled up. They're not in the order that they should be position-wise. They are just thrown out here on the track. Again, it's just like shaking up a box of chocolates. And Forrest Gump will tell you, you don't know what you're going to get. As they are all sorts of mixed up here on the track. We'll see John Ottenbacher, who's in 5th position. He's running way back here at the moment on this track, as we'll go on board with him real fast if we can. Go to his roll bar camera, and you can see, look how many cars are in front of him. There are well more than 5 cars in front of him, even though he's in 5th position. So he definitely would love to have been back up there on the restart, but that's not how it all worked out. Sean Brightsman, however, right behind him on the same lap, 2 laps down. He's up here a little further in the field as they're running each other down, trying to anyway. Just in front of Sean Brightsman in the 46 is the 8 of Gary Nichols. He's in 14th, 5 laps down. So again, they're really just scattered all over the track right now. They're not in the correct position. So just because you see this battle going on right now, the 91, the 8, and the 46, doesn't mean they're necessarily battling for position. However, the 8 of Gary Nichols and Scott Hutchinson, both 5 laps down. That is a battle for position on the track if the 8 of Gary Nichols can get to the back bumper of that 91 machine. Meanwhile, though, he's got the 46 of Sean Brightsman trying to run him down. We'll see if he can get him again, but that is not for position. We'll see. And it looks like we do have Brandon back. So, Brandon, welcome back to the booth.
Yeah, it looks like I've missed quite a bit.
Now, so far, caution-free except for 1 caution. It took 121 laps to get there.
Wow, that is yeah, caution-free races are always good. I'm seeing, is that right? 3rd place is 2 laps down?
That is correct. Dan West Jr. has been a rocket here tonight. And again, the only reason Mark Walls is back on the lead lap, that is because the caution did come out and he got the wave around, or the lucky dog. If not for that, this entire field was at least 1 lap down, if not 3 or 4 laps down, for a good chunk of that 120 laps.
That is beyond belief to me. And Dan West Jr., I mentioned earlier, he was going to be a contender and a fast driver, and well, apparently he's proving my point for me. And again, I apologize to the audience for all of the technical issues. It was a miracle that I was able to even get back in here. This computer is not treating me too well, but we're making it work so far.
And, you know, I always tell people that his name is Rocket Man Dan because he qualifies good. And he did qualify good here tonight. But you know, I'm not sure if we don't need to give him a new name. We're just going to refer to him as the hotel at this point. Because, like I said earlier, he didn't put the keys on the counter and check out. At this point, he's bought the hotel and everyone else has checked out.
You can call him the Dr. Dan West because he's putting on a clinic out here at Rockingham.
He is indeed doing a terrific job. Mark Walls now is in striking distance. He's right there. He's not losing a whole lot of ground yet. 2.7. He actually gained a little bit of time on that last lap. But it really is, the longer we run, the better that 55 seems to get. So that's what these drivers have got to figure out right now is how to beat him on the long run. Obviously, he got a good start as well, but I think it's that long run he's really good at here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and showing that is lap the whole field not once but twice, as it so seems, and obviously on rails out here tonight at Rockingham. And Rockingham proven to be a very difficult track to most, and others it just seems to come to some other drivers naturally.
And just before you got back here, got the technical issues sorted out there, at least for now anyway. We were mentioning here is that this is actually a battle right here going on for position. Both LSRTV trucks right here together, as Sean Brightsman's going to take that position away. But we have drivers on the track right now that, 3 or 4 in a group, or they were just a few laps ago, that are battling for what I like to refer to as real estate. They're on the track battling for real estate on the track, but they are not on the same lap. Some of them were 2 laps down, some of them are 5 laps down, so they're not battling for position in the scoring tower, but they are battling for real estate on the track, and that's made it quite interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at the scoring pylon, and I am beyond shocked. You've got, part of the field 2 laps down. They're all racing for position. You've got part of the field 3 laps down. They're all racing for position. 4 laps down, 5 laps down. But yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting situation. Something that you almost never see in motorsports.
Yeah, as you see right now over here to 15th place on the track, William Fletcher, your pole sitter, something would have missed as there is they reading, missed the long run setup. He is back in 15th right now, 6 laps down, but he's racing with Ryan Maines and Corey Walters that are right now in 9th position and 8th position. So again, they're all sorts of mixed up on the track. So it's become very interesting. When you talk about these guys, 2 laps down, 3 laps down, 5 laps down, it's almost like watching a road course race where you have multiple classes battling with each other.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's an interesting situation, and now we see Dan West starting to pick up speed again for that long run speed, and almost 4 seconds back is Mark Walls now, and still losing time. And it's not that these other drivers are slow, because they're not by any means. They're still all putting up really good lap times, especially for the condition of the track up onto the board. Dan West is he's sitting on a rocket ship.
Yeah, he has figured it out here tonight. I would say it's impressive enough that he's managed to lap this entire field at some point in this race. But to master this track as well as he has here, that's what's impressive too, is, we talked about in the pre-show, this is not an easy track to master. So the fact that he has it down so well to be able to do that is impressive as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this track takes a lot of practice, and like you said, you really need to be able to master this track to be fast here. And it's also confidence in your race truck. If you don't have the feeling in your truck or the confidence in your truck to an extreme level, you're really not going to be as fast as some of the other guys here. And Dan West is out there proving that point every lap. He's showing confidence. He's able to drive the truck in the way that he wants. He's able to place the truck where he wants, and that's really the key to this place.
It definitely is. And we didn't get a chance to go over it in the pre-show as well. But you want to talk about momentum? Dan West Jr. actually is coming in to this race 1 point over John Ottenbacher, leading the points as it is. And this is really going to help him in the point standings, putting everyone a lap down like this. So not only did he take the points lead, gaining 5 spots last week, Now he's going to lock himself into the playoffs as well with the win here tonight, assuming he does hang on and get it.
Yeah, assuming he does hang on. Of course, Ottenbacher sitting second in points right now. He's sitting in the 6th position right now in that bright green machine. And, you know, really not having a bad night for Ottenbacher either. Obviously, with the circumstances that, well, you know, Dan West is really just putting everybody in the ground right now, but these guys are all having really, really good runs, and they're having consistent lap times. It's, you know, I'm really impressed by the whole field right now.
Yeah, they definitely are. Lap down or not, you're still putting on a good little battle with these guys as we go up this field just a little bit. Ryan Maines has his hands full right now with Sean Brightsman. You're talking 3 laps versus 2 laps. So still not a battle for position, just a battle for real estate as Sean Brightsman trying to get past that 13 machine. Obviously, the goal of anybody is to, you know, get their lap back, but also at this point, you know, not to go another lap down. You know, we could still see some cautions, but we are at 30 laps to go. There's not a lot of laps left to try to get those laps back.
Yeah, and you know, that's the problem late in this race for a lot of these guys, and, you know, I'm sure all of them realize it is, in order to fight for positions up front or for even second position, Brett Johnson would have to, who is currently in 3rd, he'd have to get 2 laps back first. And that's not an easy task in itself. And it's unbelievable that one of our podium drivers is 2 laps down.
Yeah, it really is. You know, it looks like Dana Rogers called the quits a little while ago. Didn't see that, but you know, we've had a lot of drivers that have called quits here, and I'm not sure all of that was due to damage either. Some of these guys just parking it after going a couple of lap downs. I believe Chad Malika was the case there as well, but you know, you look at the field here, it's very rare that you see, you know, drivers, you know, 10, 15, 20 laps down, a whole bunch of them anyway. But to see drivers, we have currently about 7 drivers that are 100 plus laps down right now. That is just baffling to me to see that many drivers, you know, 100 plus laps down.
Yeah, absolutely. We had 22 drivers start this race, and 20 of those guys are at least 2 laps down at the moment. So, you know, easy math there. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers sitting 100 plus laps down. And of course, Dana Rogers, he's out of this race. Frank Harris is sitting in the pits right now, so I think he's probably done 29 laps down. So, you know, a lot of these guys just calling it quits fairly early in this race, and we're still dropping a couple of guys at a time.
Yeah, we are. On the flip side of though, we were talking about it a little while ago, compared to the Monday race, where we saw 14 cautions with the Cup cars here at Rockingham. We have not seen that here tonight, as we'll pull that caution information up for you here. 1 caution for 4 laps out of the 156 laps completed. So a complete 360 here tonight. And, you know, part of this, you know, the lack of cautions has played in the favor of Dan West Jr. Again, he got that long run set up, and it played perfectly. Had we seen, you know, 4, 5, 6 cautions, this race could have turned out differently, you know, mostly for the fact that nobody gets a chance to work on these trucks and make changes if you can't come to pit road.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I'm sure a lot of these guys really hoping for cautions right now. And one of the guys I would really like to see one is Brett Johnson sitting in 3rd. He'd get one of his laps back and automatically be in position for the lucky dog the next time around if we were to get another caution, because he'd be the only guy 1 lap down. And at that point, he'd be on the lead lap, and that's best case scenario for him right now.
Yeah, and again, we're not ruling anything out as we're coming up on 20 to go next time. for Dan West Jr. as he's going to be coming to that line momentarily. He's fixing to put James Vining a 5th lap down. James Vining really hasn't been pressing it, and for that matter, nobody has really been pressing the issue too hard here tonight. It's almost like, we had the full moon Monday night, and then it's a new moon. I believe new moon is when there's no moon at all.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, literally the complete opposite. People are not battling real hard and taking it kind of easy out there. So again, it's just complete opposite. Is now your pole sitter and second place are right there together. Unfortunately, many laps separating them.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is tough here. It is really tough situation for a lot of these guys to be in. As you know, I know we keep bringing it up, but just everybody on these different laps, and this late in the race, it just makes it really tough.
As the 91 of Scott Hutchinson's going to bring it down pit road. James Vining is leaving pit road as the 91 comes down pit road. And looks like some of these guys are going to have to come down with 18 laps to go. I'm not sure if Dan West Jr. is going to have to come down or not, as they were going about 60 laps or so on fuel. So he should be good to the end. Some of these guys, however, going ahead and bringing it down pit road to top off on fuel and tires.
Yeah, quick. Some of these guys may end up doing just a quick splash and go. I'm sure a lot of these guys are going to be electing to do at least a 2-tire stop here on this round of green flag stops for those who need to come in and at least get a little bit of fresh rubber on these machines and maybe try to pick up a little bit of speed.
Yeah, they want to get as much speed as they can. Again, if we were to see a caution, these guys that just came down, they're going to have to try to get their laps back. That's going to be the problematic. You would have the fresh tires, but won't do you a whole lot. Yeah, I'm having some issues. There we go. I have some issues there with the mic myself. But, if you're multiple laps down, you have fresh tires, it's not going to do you as much good as I was saying. But, still having those fresher tires, you can at least try to gain some positions on the drivers that you're with on the track.
Charles, I got my tech issues out of the way. You can't start having some now, too.
Apparently so. I blame this. We I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of things in the works here. A brand new, Rode NT2A coming in here for the studio with a new mixer. A lot of stuff coming into play here. And apparently my current headset got wind of it. I don't know how. I don't talk into it all the time or anything, but apparently got wind of it, and it has decided it wants to start cutting out on me.
Yeah, that would be no good. Hopefully I got all my tech issues out of the way. Everything seems to be running a lot smoother than it was before. So hopefully that's all good.
Tech issues definitely play a huge factor into things, but again, a lot of good things coming in the works here. Obviously, we got a new producer going to be coming on board, Nick Robbins. We are currently building his computer. So a big shout out to Nick Robbins from Race on Texas, going to be joining us here within the month. He will have a streaming PC, so he'll be joining us as a producer and announcer. So I'll be glad to have him on board as well. Again, as we watch Dan West Jr. Dominate here, coming up on 10 to go. Just again, a lot of big things going on here for the channel.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course, a big shout out to iRacing Motorsports Simulations, the #1 leader in motorsport simulation. As they're kind of leading the fields as far as innovation in sim racing goes, and obviously this whole pandemic around the world is gaining popularity more than it ever has for the sim racing community. For new members, iRacing.com. There's always a lot of cool deals and discounts going on, and they can hook you up real good there. Again, iRacing.com, the leading motorsport simulation.
Definitely. And of course, if you're in the northwest area, we are broken up into clubs here on iRacing. If you're in the Northwest Club, obviously Washington, in that side of the West there, you can always check this league out. As there it is now, 8 laps to go. It's amazing how quickly this race has gone by. For 180 laps, this was deemed as one of their Road to Pro races here, so there was extra laps added to it. But again, I mentioned as we take that sidebar off real fast to put the main bar up, Dan West Jr. hasn't led every lap here tonight. As again, Fletcher got by him on that short run for 12 laps, and then that is when he flipped the switch there as go time for him, and he has again, basically the only thing is checked out from the field at that point. That is exactly what he's done with 6 laps to go, and he's putting Tom Green a 8th lap down at the line with now 6 laps to go.
And yeah, so Dan West almost 10 seconds ahead of second place at the moment, and now is over 10 seconds ahead of second place, just like that. So yeah, you said it earlier, Charles. I think a lot of really good long run speed for this truck, and showing really consistent lap times all around the board.
Yeah, he really has. And, you're looking there, 24.734. Mark Walls ran a 363. But they're both 1 lap difference. 1 lap's not going to be enough to really tell here. Tire wear is big, but not 1 lap difference tire wear. And that's a big gap in time.
Yeah, that's huge. You think of even a second is a pretty significant gap in the world of motorsports. Try 11, probably going to be close to 12 this time across the line. And, unbelievable run for this 55 team here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. He has lived up to his name, Rocket Man Dan. Again, like you said, he needs to be called Dr. Dan or Nitrous Dan or Leave the Field in the Dust Dan, whatever you want to call him. He has checked out, and he is going to be coming up on 2 to go. We're going to have 2 sticks in the air this time by. So he does it right there. And I believe your favorite moment is about to be coming up here momentarily, as he is on the backstretch coming to get that white flag.
Yeah, Dan West Jr. heading down into corner number 3. Down at corner number 4, the Eco 1 to go, East Coast Motorsports Media. White flag is in the air at the stands, and of course, pure dominance here tonight from this 55 machine. I came back from my tech issues in shock that the amount of cars that he's put a lap down, all under the green flag, and pure dominance, perseverance, and a long race here in the books out of turn number 4. Your winner on the night, Dan West Jr.
He wins it in dominating style. Mark Walls on the lead lap. The only other truck on the lead lap, 14 seconds behind. Add another 20 laps to this race, and it would have been different. We would have probably had every car lapped once again. The caution obviously saving Mark Walls from going a lap down again, or staying a lap down. But what a race. We'll leave the results there up on the screen for you, as we will get to the post-race show. Your winner, of course, going to be doing some donuts, which he's so far ahead we may have to catch up with him here a little bit, but he'll do those celebrating donuts. We're going to step away. We'll get down to pit road into victory lane here in just a second, so we'll be right back with your post-race show. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, of course, as always, here with your Clan Wars servers post race show. Clan Wars servers, the official communication partner of LSR TV. And we have caught up with our top three drivers. Coming in third place here tonight is going to be Stephen Paulson, driver of that number 58 machine. Oh, it was a wild night here. A lot of cars a lap down, including third place, 2 laps down, but still a solid third place podium finish. Steven, welcome to the booth. And while it's still 2 laps down, you get third place. So, how is this truck handling out here tonight? And just go over this crazy finish tonight.
Well, I think I didn't see the finish because I think Dan and Mark, they were like in prototypes and the rest of us were in the other cars. So they were way ahead of me. But it was great because we got lots of long runs. And, and that's what helped me. And, I was being able to pass people late in the runs. So it was a lot of fun. And it's good to be the best of the rest. I can't believe I'm 2 laps down and I'm in third. That's just ridiculous.
Well, it's funny you talk about prototypes and the rest. We kind of compared this race to a road course race. I'm sure everyone here is familiar with how road course racing, you have your prototypes, your GT2, GT3. They're kind of broken into groups. That's kind of how pretty much the second half of this race went. You had your groups that were 2 laps down, 3 laps down, 5 laps down, and y'all were racing each other for position in different little groups here. So it was very interesting the way it turned out here. But like you mentioned, 121 laps for the first green flag run before we saw that first caution. Obviously, much better than Monday night where we saw the 14 cautions. Obviously a good long green flag run. Did you have it set up for the long run, or were you counting on a few cautions?
No, I was definitely driving for the long run totally. And I did not have a fast short run car at all. I had really been in trouble with a lot of short runs. So it really did, play into what strength I had. Compared to the winners, I don't know how strong it was, but but it played into that strategy.
Well, the strategy worked out for you here. Regardless of what lap you finished on, you still got the third place, a solid finish. Any track you go, especially here at Thunder Alley, of course, Rockingham, a tough track. Any sponsors on that car you need to thank, or just anyone you want to shout out here for the third place finish?
No sponsors, just a favorite refreshment. Well, obviously want to shout out to Mark and Sean and Jeff and John. John for not kicking me off when I haven't sent him in the membership fee yet, and Jeff for, I was whining about my right front tire going off and set wasn't loose enough, and he just said I should just learn how to drive the car, I think. So that's what I did tonight. So it worked, Jeff. So that's good. And teammates, James and Tom, Dana, we do a lot of work together, and Frank. So, thank all of them too, and yourself for bringing this to us, and I appreciate it.
Well, definitely congrats on the third place finish here tonight. And we'll be talking to you soon, I'm sure. And that leads us to our second place driver, the number 48 of Mark Walls. And I believe Brandon Kreutz has caught up with him.
Yeah, I'm down here on pit road with the second place finisher, Mark Walls. Mark, perseverance, I think, was key on the night tonight. So you come home with the second place finish. How you feeling after this long 180 laps?
Oh man, first I got to thank Dan for giving me my lap back there with that caution. I got to finish on the lead lap. But we had a solid truck. We just the driver didn't show up, and Dan went out there and leveled the field. But set was good. I thought long run was good. We were chasing it up over the bumps. I think I actually got tight as the run went on. I probably should have loosened it up, but didn't want to wreck it knowing I had kind of top three locked in.
Now, tell us going into tonight. So we know Rockingham is a tough racetrack, and Were you expecting to get all these long runs, or did you have more of a short run setup?
No, I definitely had a long run setup. We're still trying to figure out that little short run speed, but I kind of figured the trucks would get spread out a little bit. Being as how the track's pretty rough, there's not a whole lot of side by side racing when you start falling off. So set it up for the long run and paid off. Got up in second after taking a third last week.
Second place finish here on the Knights, and of course you ended up one lap down at one point. You managed to get that back with a wave around when the caution flag came out, and you come home with a second place finish. Mark, is there anybody that you'd like to thank, shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, we got to thank Walls Beard Co. They powered that number 48 Chevy Silverado all the way up to second. We got to give a big shout out to the secondary sponsor of Living, also on the truck with us, and gotta thank the teammate Jeff over at Next Gen. We put a lot of work into the setups, and it paid off. Luck really didn't hit his side too much, but again, want to congratulate Dan on his tremendous win, and we'll take this momentum into Texas.
Absolutely, and again, congratulations on a well-deserved second place finish here tonight, and thanks for talking with us tonight, Mark. And Charles, I believe you caught up with our race winner.
I have down here in victory lane. I'm still trying to catch up with him along with all the drivers. So I think we have caught up with Dan West Jr. here in victory lane. Dan, you lapped the entire field at some point in this race. Of course, the caution came out, allowed Mark to get his lap back. Had you finished this race, every car at least one lap down, what kind of momentum boost does that give you, knowing you're already the points leader coming into tonight's race?
Well, obviously it feels good. It feels really good to finally get this win out of the way. I don't know why that's so stressful, but I feel like once you get that win, then you can kind of just relax. I put a lot of work into this race, so I figured if I was going to get one, this would be it. The Wicked Chassis Racing team in itself is a pretty tough team to beat, and I feel like you get to these mile-and-a-half cookie cutters, and I don't know that I have the setup for those tracks with them guys, but um, it paid off tonight, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, it definitely played off for you. We are getting word the truck is being hauled to the destruction zone where they can take it into tiny little pieces and inspect it. But all seriousness, you had a rocket ship here. We talked about it. We've always kind of referred to you since last season as Rocket Man Dan for qualifying. I believe we come up with a few more. We have Dr. Dan, as you put a clinic on here tonight. Nitrous Dan. Well, we came up with a whole host of them here tonight for you. So we'll see which one fits going on throughout the season. But you get that win. All you got to do is make 15 races, of course. I don't see that being a problem for you this season, as you didn't miss many of any last season. You got the monkey off your back, and, of course, a dominating fashion on that. Again, there's not much to say. You weren't around a whole lot of people unless you were putting them a lap down. So we'll let you thank the sponsors on that truck and thank anyone you need to just give a shout out to for that dominating win here tonight.
First, I'd like to thank LSR TV, Brandon and Cody. I appreciate you guys coming out, and you guys put a heck of a broadcast on. Second would be Jeff Stabnow. The Saturday nights that he puts into these setup sessions, I don't think he probably realized how much I do listen, and he helps me out a lot. So I appreciate that. And the other thanks goes to the drivers. I think that after the cup race, it was kind of ugly, and the guys definitely stepped. I mean, look at how many green flag laps that we made in a row. I mean, that's crazy. There was a lot of side by side racing. I think that's pretty impressive, and I appreciate all the room that they gave me, and give a hand to themselves. So thank you.
Well, a dominating win here tonight. And that just about wraps up the racing action. So we're going to toss it back to Brandon up in the booth. Oh, Brandon, it's all yours.
Thank you, Charles. And, well, the long 180 laps here at the characteristic Rockingham Speedway is all in the books. And, That'll wrap up our coverage here on LSR TV. Perseverance for most of the field here tonight, and pure domination for Dan West Jr. For myself, Brandon Kreutz, Charles Wooten, co-commentator, and the cameras, and the rest of us here with the LSR TV crew, we bid you good racing and good night.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.